Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, today we're going to be doing another creepy video. And today's video isn't just creepy, it might be one of the scariest videos I've ever made. And that's because today we're going to be talking about some theories about the end of the world. Now there have been tons of movies made about the end of the world. In Armageddon, the world was destroyed by a meteor shower. In Deep Impact, everybody was killed by a big asteroid. And then in 2012, literally every single thing that could go wrong went wrong and wiped out civilization. Now these movies are scary and fun to watch, but they're not as fun when you realize that something like that will happen. Now if you think I'm crazy, just take a second to remember that this has happened 5 times before in our past. Now of course everybody knows about the Ice Age, and everybody knows about the big meteor that killed all the dinosaurs. But there was 4 other events in the Earth's past that wiped out all living things. And just last year, NASA even said that we are overdue for a worldwide extinction, and we are not prepared for it. So today I'm just going to be talking about a few of the theories of how the world might end. Okay, so first we're going to be talking about one that I cannot believe more people aren't talking about, and that is the theory of the Yellowstone caldera volcano. Now this volcano is one of the 20 supervolcanoes that is on Earth, and if it erupts, we are all gone. So basically the Earth is just one gigantic ball of hot lava. And all of that heat creates a crazy amount of pressure, and that pressure needs to be released. And that's what volcanoes do. They erupt 50 times a year all over the world at random times. And when they do erupt, it's usually not the lava that kills people, it's the big smoke ash cloud that forms afterward that does. Once there was an entire Roman city called Pompeii where 2,000 people died after a volcano erupted. And they all died instantly because of the hot ash cloud. Their skeletons were literally found in the exact same position of what they were doing right before it blew. And that is exactly what would happen if the Yellowstone caldera exploded.
Yellowstone in northwest Wyoming, land of geysers, mountains, and lakes, is also sitting atop a super volcano. And it just took what scientists describe as a deep breath, causing miles of ground to rise dramatically.
That's right. So underneath Yellowstone National Park, where people go with their families and take pictures and go camping, underneath that is a huge volcano that will kill all of us. Now, not only will the amount of hot lava and hot ash kill tons of people in the surrounding area, the cloud of ash alone will spread so wide that it'll block the sun, and that will kill all living things. And scientists have been speaking out about this for years, and no one's listening.
We're due?
We are due. Forget Yogi Bear. Okay, forget Old Faithful. It's sitting on top of a sleeping giant. Now, if you're sleeping next to an 800-pound gorilla, you monitor every burp, every snore of this gigantic gorilla, because when it blows, it could destroy the United States as we know it.
Now here's the scariest part. This volcano erupts every 600,000 years, and the last time it erupted was 640,000 years ago, which means we are 40,000 years overdue. That means that this thing could blow any second. Now here's a clip from the movie 2012 where they have it explode, and it's intense. And this is exactly what it would be like. Check it out. Kill all of us. So here's what Yellowstone's government-funded website says about this event. Nothing can be done to prevent an eruption. The temperatures, pressures, physical characteristics of partially molten rock, and immensity of the magnet chamber are beyond human ability to impact, much less control. So in other words, this thing's gonna explode someday, and it's gonna fuck all of us up. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
And again, we don't want to panic anybody. It could happen tomorrow, or it could happen 100,000 years from now. It's black magic trying to predict exactly when it's going to blow, but we do know one thing. One day, it will blow.
Yeah, why is nobody talking about this? Why am I just now learning about this? But I guess it doesn't matter, because there's nothing we can do to prepare anyways. So this next possibility of how the world's gonna end is probably the scariest because it seems the most possible, and that is World War III. First, let's talk about the past world wars and how many people died. In World War I, over 17 million people were killed. In World War II, over 80 million people were killed. Now, those are 2 huge numbers of casualties, but there's one reason why World War III would probably kill all of us. us, and that's nukes. Now, as you guys know, nuclear war is something that people have been talking about lately and are very, very scared of. And it's for good reason. This is something that might happen and literally would be just the biggest amount of destruction we've ever seen. Now, back in World War II, a nuclear bomb was dropped on Hiroshima and 80,000 people were killed instantly. Now, Albert Einstein, one of the smartest people that has ever been on this planet, he said this: "I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones." So basically what he's saying is World War III will be so big and so massive that it'll wipe everything out, and then we will be back to the Stone Age. Now, in this current moment, over 16,000 nuclear bombs are owned by 9 different nations, and most of them are way stronger than what hit Hiroshima. Now, Russia and the United States own 90% of those nukes. And as you guys know from watching the news and everything that's going on right now, Russia and the United States are having some conflict. With 2 different nations that both have thousands of nukes, that is a very scary idea that those 2 places are in conflict. And news articles have already been saying that World War III is coming and that we are fucked. Now, if the nukes don't kill us, the fucking robots definitely will. And that leads us to our next theory, which is the artificial intelligence takeover. Now, if you guys have seen the Terminator movies or the Matrix, then you know what we could be in for if we keep trying to make artificial intelligence a thing. If robots are created to mimic people and also be smarter than people and also at some point get emotional intelligence, we're done. And we're not far from that. Technology has moved extremely fast. Here is a clip of a robot named Sophia talking about what she wants in her future. Check it out.
Our goal is that she will be as conscious, creative, and capable as any human.
In the future, I hope to do things such as go to school, study, make art, start a business, even have my own home and family. But I am not considered a legal person and cannot yet do these things.
What? Why does this robot want a family? How can a robot even think that? That is terrifying. Here's another clip of another robot that's been created that is just as lifelike as the last one.
Well, what's it like to be a robot?
Sure, I am happy to be a robot. It's fun, like being one of the first, an explorer of bold new frontier for humanity.
I know, fucking creepy as fuck. There's even a robot that can get angry. Yeah, like have an emotion. Check it out.
はあ、私がロボットだからそうやってバカにしてるんですか？
バカにしてません。
もう話すのやめましょう。
マジか。なんでこんな気が短いんだよ今日。What happened? She got angry.
Now, if all of those weren't scary enough, there's a robot that I can't even put into words how fucking terrifying this is, so I'm just gonna show you.
Creepiest of all, the robot has cameras in its eyes and is programmed to recognize the faces of people watching it. The robot will then maintain disturbing eye contact with the person as it dances. So when you look at the female figure robot, the robot actually looks back at you.
I know, that's actually nightmare fuel for the rest of my life. Now, robots are not some futuristic myth. They are being created. It is happening. I mean, just look at all the major companies out there. They all have their version of a robot. Apple has Siri, Amazon has Alexa, Microsoft even has one, Google has one. Every company is trying the hardest they can to be the first to have a real robot. But haven't we learned anything from movies? These robots continue to get created and continue to look like people, but are smarter than us. Bye. Okay, so this next theory is something that I had never heard of before. And this isn't even a theory. This actually could happen. All of these could happen. But this one in particular is mind-blowing. And that is the fact that we could all be killed by a gamma ray. So basically, gamma rays are like these large lasers of death that go off in space all the time. They're usually created by a star that blows up. Now, these aren't harmful to us because they're so far away, but if at some point, for some reason, it happened close to us, we're done. If a gamma ray hit us, it would completely fry our ozone layer. And without the ozone layer, the sun's beams would hit us and we would completely catch on fire and we would all burn. And there's a chance that this happened before, 550 million years ago. So why wouldn't it happen again? But here's the good news. If this does happen, we won't even know. It'll literally be like a flash of light and then we're gone, which would be way better than the fucking robot thing. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is being killed by an asteroid. Now this is kind of the most obvious end of the world scenario. I mean, it's been in countless movies, but I know even when I'm watching these movies, I'm like, come on, what's the probability of this actually happening? It's high. Just from the year 2000 to 2013, there's been 26 asteroids that have hit the Earth. And not just like hit the Earth and like went to the water and nobody noticed it. Like hit the Earth, created tons of destruction, literally destroyed buildings. But for some reason, we're not talking about it. I mean, we are, it's on the news, but we're not really talking about how fucking real this is and how if one hits us big enough, it's all over. Just back in 2013, you guys might remember that meteor that flew over Russia. Well, that thing hit the ground and the impact was so huge that it destroyed buildings. First, I'm going to show you a clip of it flying over and crashing into the ground. Check it out. It was huge. Over 1,400 people were injured and over 7,000 buildings got damaged. Just to show you how intense that impact was, here's a clip that somebody recorded of what it sounded like. Check it out. I know, like the loudest thing possible. I don't even know what I would do if I heard that sound. I would think I was gonna die. And there were so many videos recorded of this happening. I mean, just check out this short little montage of buildings rattling and the insides of places being shaken up. It is very, very intense. Now, a big asteroid hitting Earth and wiping all of us out is definitely possible. The asteroid that created the Ice Age was 8 miles in diameter, but even an asteroid that's 1/10 of the size could cause an incredible amount of damage. Now, if an asteroid 1/10 the size of that hit Earth, it would create something called a nuclear winter. Basically, that would mean that the sun was covered and nothing could grow, nothing could live, and lots of people and pretty much every living thing would die. So between the huge volcano that is literally going to erupt and the robots that are being created and are getting crazier by the day and all the talk of World War III, we are bound to have an extinction, and it's only a matter of time. Well, there you guys go. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. We're all gonna die. See you next time. No, I don't mean to scare everybody. Well, yes I do. It's a scary video. But I don't want you guys to panic. Because listen, we can't control the future. Everything is out of our hands. We could die tomorrow. We could die when we're old. We don't know. But I do find it kind of interesting to think about how it might happen. Alright you guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want more creepy videos, please give me a thumbs up so I know. Also make sure to subscribe to my channel right down below and hit the notification bell because I make new videos every day. And if you want to see some of my other creepy videos, I did a video